Hi, everyone. Just going to wait a couple of minutes here to get started so we can wait for everyone to jump on. It is a beautiful day outside. It's like 72. So I hope that if it's nice around you, you get to spend some time outside. We're 8 days away from the first day of spring, which thank goodness, because this winter was cold. How's it over there near you, Stacy? Is it nice today?
Um, we actually had a wonderful weekend. I'm in Phoenix and great weekend, 80 and sunny. And yesterday we had rain. So, but it has not rained at all in like 11 months. It's only rained a few times, so I'm not complaining. So, little rain isn't bad. So,
Yeah, not too bad.
mhm.
All right, we've got a decent amount of participants joined here, so I think we can go ahead and just kick off and get ourselves started here. So thank you everyone for participating in our 30-minute workshop today. This is all about integrations. So this is our Did You Know workshop on Did you know you can save up to 10 hours with integrations? So we're going to walk through three different integrations today. Um, but before we get started, we just wanted to first introduce ourselves a little bit. So my name is Jackie Lucente. I am the product marketing manager for both MyRepChat and FMG. I am based out of Dallas, Texas, and I have been with FMG for about a year. So I'll hand it over to Stacy if you want to just do a little quick intro.
I'm Stacy. I am the senior customer success manager. I have been with my rep chat for almost 6 years now.
Amazing. Truly
Yes.
a MyRepChat Pro for us, a huge wealth of knowledge here. So we're very lucky to have you in our workshop today. So before we get through to some content, I just wanted to go through some housekeeping items. So the recording of this webinar will be sent afterwards. So we send a post-webinar resource email to all registrants and attendees. So definitely look out for that at the end of the webinar. And you will find the recording, this will be a replay video of everything. We'll also include helpful handouts, slides, everything that we talk about today. We're going to mention some articles, some help center links. We're going to give away a CRM checklist item. So all of that will come in that post webinar email afterwards. So be on the lookout for that in the next day or two. In terms of Q&A, feel free to submit any Q&A questions you have throughout the workshop in the Q&A section of Zoom. We will answer as many as we can live at the end. However, if we don't get to your question, don't fret, because what we do is we always take all of the Q&A questions, we'll answer them, we'll put them into one document in that post-webinar email, and then you can see them. So if we don't end up getting to your question, we'll answer it there, and then you can see the answer, or if you're curious what other people are asking as well, it'll all be there. Um, awesome. So here is the agenda for today that we wanted to go through. So we're going to be doing a CRM integration setup demo. So we will be showing you a Wealthbox integration today, just because that was a highly requested feature that people wanted to see on our last workshop. And Wealthbox is one of our bigger CRM partners that we work with. So we're going to be doing a demo of that, how to set it up. Then we're going to walk through some real life applications, how other advisors are using their CRM, and just some best practices and tips. And then we're going to walk through two other integrations. So we're going to walk through our lead gen and marketing integrations with both FMG and Nitrogen, which we do have an integration with on the platform. And then, as promised, we will leave at least 5 minutes at the end for Q&A so that you can ask some questions and get some answers live. With that being said, if you do have any questions, if you're looking for some extra support, you need some help troubleshooting something, definitely reach out to our support team and check out some of our other resources. We've got a great resources called the Knowledge Base, which is available on the support tab on our website. this has just some great articles, tips, our most frequently asked questions, things like that, all hosted in this knowledge base. So definitely check it out if you haven't. You can also email or call our support for any specific help or if you're trying to troubleshoot something. So before we kick off into demoing our CRM integration and just giving you some tips on that, what is so great about CRM? So, a lot of firms will assign a CRM based on the organization that you're with, but CRMs can be a really powerful tool, especially when integrated with MyRepChat. Did you know that research shows that CRMs save most users 5 to 10 hours per week, which is pretty awesome. So that could be up to 40 hours a month. That can save you time, especially with our MyRepChat integration. This is a great way to capture every minute back, make those efficiency gains, and just streamline your workflows that you're already doing within your CRM into MyRepChat to really make the most out of this texting and communication tool. This probably won't be much of a shock to anybody, but did you know that personalized communication increases client response rate by up to 72%? People like to feel that one-to-one connection with any type of communication they receive. So when you link your MyRepChat with your CRM together, it really makes it easy to personalize your outreach, whether that's utilizing tags and groups that you create in your CRM, whether that's just keeping all your notes organized in one place so you can really personalize the type of content or event or messages that you're sending your clients. So this can be a really powerful tool, and we want to just give you some tips on how to set that up and use it best together. So with that, we will be demonstrating, as I said, connecting and setting up your CRM with Wealthbox. So we're going to show you both on the MyRepChat side as well as on the Wealthbox side, just how to set that up, how to make sure those two tools are synced, and then just some tips for how to do that. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Stacy, and she's just going to walk you through a quick demo of how you would do this and use this correctly.
Perfect. Thanks, Jackie. So the first thing you're going to do in MyRepChat is go to settings, bottom left side, and then see our integration section, and you will connect to CRM. And today we're going to walk through Wealthbox, but this is the list of all of the CRMs we currently integrate with. But today's demo purposes, we are going to use Wealthbox. So you can select the box that says Wealthbox and review that. Within each CRM, so now we're going to click on the Wealthbox CRM, and within each integration, there is separate instructions on how to integrate. So Wealthbox, we need an access token. Next to the enable button is a question mark. At any time, you can click that question mark for procedures on how to integrate. But with Wealthbox, we do need to log into Wealthbox to obtain an access token. So I'm going to walk you through that right now. You log in. The settings section over on the right side, click on settings, and then you click on API access. And this will give you the availability to create an access token, green button, you would select that. And a new token would be created. We need to create a name for that. You can name it, MyRepChat. Today's test purposes, we're just going to name it webinar test. Once you save that, the token will be available to you, and you can then copy that token. Right there is the token. You can copy it, and then we would put that back into MyRepChat. And as I did mention, each CRM integration is different, but with Wealthbox, we need that token. We paste that in there. We're going to save that integration. Pop up just stated it's good to go. We enable. We have multiple settings on how often you want to send the messages to the CRM. I always choose daily. Test came back successful, so you are good to go and you are connected to Wealthbox. Note that once you integrate with Wealthbox, not all of your contacts are in MyRepChat, so we need to import them in. So in contacts, import from CRM. You can bring them in one by one as we are doing there. So now you can see we just brought in, and you can see the Wealthbox logo. There it is also in Wealthbox. So now we're back to Wealthbox. You can also search, bring them in by phone number, by name, etc. So you can bring them in either way, but there's the import to CRM. We can paste in the number and we're going to find that number and bring in that contact in. So there is Tom, you can bring them into MyRepChat that way. So you can bring them in one by one. Always note you need that Wealthbox logo next to the name. That means they're integrated and the messages are going back into the CRM. So you want to make sure you see that. Also, we do receive a lot of requests about bringing in multiple contacts at one time. So this contact has 1,200. We can actually export from Wealthbox and import into MyRepChat. So you can export here with bulk actions and you can export that into a CSV and then we can upload that into MyRepChat. If you want to see the exact instructions on how to import from a CSV, please check out the support section. There are specific instructions, making sure you get the source and source ID, etc. So there are some pretty specific instructions. You could always reach out to our support team, and we also have a support article. And then once you do this, all of your 1,260 as our wealth box would be in MyRepChat when we upload that, and then you can update them at any time. You can also update information in Wealthbox. So if you update the name, as we are doing here, changing the name from Jackie to Jacqueline, and we are saving that, you need to re-import them into MyRepChat. So there we reconciled, and now we've brought in the new name. So if you are making any updates via phone, etc., you want to make sure you reintegrate and bring in that contact again, as we just did there. So you saw it change from Jackie to Jacqueline on the system, if you want to update that information. So hopefully that helped learn how to integrate with Wealthbox. Here is the article. So as I did mention, there are multiple CRMs and there is instructions in our help desk at all of our instructions. So here is Wealthbox. You can do Redtail, etc. Step-by-step instructions on how to manage that.
Yes, this is a great resource, and don't fret if you you don't want to copy and paste the link from here. We're going to send out the link for this one specifically, but as Stacy mentioned, we have step-by-step guides with walkthrough instructions for all of our CRM partners that make it really easy to follow along. And of course, if you wanted to see that video again that Stacy just walked through, which is super helpful just on logging in, setting up, syncing, all that good stuff. We will send this out as a replay. So don't worry about wanting to see that again if you do. So next, as we promised, with CRMs, there are some best practices and some tips that we've kind of accumulated directly from other advisors. And these were the top 3. So these are 3 tips on just how to make the most of using your CRM in MyRepChat, and just a checklist of items that you can do to make sure that you're working really efficiently and you're getting the most out of both. So one of the top tips that we kind of accumulated from other advisors is scheduling those happy birthday or anniversary or annual review type templates for new contacts as soon as you sync them in from your CRM into MyRepChat. So for example, maybe you have a new client, you just added them to your Wealthbox CRM, you've synced them over into MyRepChat. So as part of your onboarding process and getting that client onboarded and all their paperwork set up, just go ahead and schedule those texts as soon as you bring them in so that you're never having to go back and retroactively, do this for 50 contacts, not remembering who has their happy birthday scheduled, who doesn't. It's just a really great tip on how to make that personalized outreach super seamless as you're bringing a new client in from your CRM. Another great tip is adding newly synced contacts to distribution lists. So distribution lists, if you're not using them already in MyRepChat, are custom contact lists that you can build within your MyRepChat content library that just help to segment and target your client lists, which means you can send them the right type of content, you can text them the right type of messages, you can invite them to the right type of events. And as a pro tip, specifically, we showed you that Wealthbox CRM. If you use tags in your CRM, you can also create distribution lists for those tag groups. So for example, let's say you have a tag set for, in your Wealthbox CRM, where you're tagging individuals as high net worth or pre-retirees, small business owners, you can then create that distribution list in MyRepChat so that you're segmenting your audience to match the type of tagging you're doing, and then you're making that personalized outreach. And then just as a reminder, again, for distribution lists in this capacity, you can send that distribution list the same piece of content or the same piece of message, the same message all at once, and then they can respond back to you one to one. So it's a really powerful way to target your audience, and make it in line with kind of what you're already doing and how you're organizing your CRM. Um, Another just pro tip, and we did demo this and kind of show you a little bit of this, but when you're making changes to contacts in your CRM, like changing their name or their number or maybe their email, just don't forget to reconcile the contact in MyRepChat. So on every single contact, there's a reconcile contact button at the bottom, just like we showed you. And with that, you can ensure that information stays up to date, everything is syncing. And it's just, anytime you're making a change in your CRM, if you just remember to update that in MyRepChat, it becomes repetitive and really easy to make sure those two tools are working best together. So next, we are going to walk through two of our lead gen and marketing integrations. So we have two main ones, FMG and Nitrogen, which is formerly Riskalyze. So FMG, if you didn't know, we are part of the same family. MyRepChat was acquired by FMG in 2023. So because of that, we do have a connection with the FMG content library. So FMG is a marketing sort of toolkit and suite of all sorts of marketing products, anything from websites to this type of content that you can share with clients. So with this integration, it makes it really easy for you to search, preview, and send that FMG content through MyRepChat, both on the web and mobile platforms. So it makes it easy to find content and then share it in one click to your contacts, and make it really relevant to them. The next integration we're just going to walk through is our Nitrogen or Riskalyze integration. So Nitrogen and their Riskalyze tool allows you to assess your client's risk tolerance directly through text messaging. So with this integration, you can send the risk questionnaire directly to clients via text. And then the really cool part about that too is that you can view their risk numbers and their financial goals directly from their contact card in the MyRepChat platform. So we're going to show you how both of these work, and just give you a little preview of what that content looks like so you can get an idea how these integrations would work for you. So first, we are going to demo the Nitrogen and Riskalyze integration. So just like all of our other integrations on the platform, this integration can be found under Settings, under the integration pane. So what you would do is you would click that Connect under Riskalyze. You'd log in to your Nitrogen Riskalyze account, and that would tether the two in that way. And then you can go back to the Riskalyze screen and just hit that test button after you've connected your account. And it'll say Riskalyze text successful. That's how you know, okay, this is connected. It's now working. The two accounts are tethered together. You could then go to a client that you'd like to send the Riskalyze test to. And what you'd see now under their contact card, under Riskalyze, is this section with the score, their goals, and the date that this would be completed. You can then pick which type of questionnaire, simple, standard, or detailed. It just really the amount of questions and the length. You can go ahead and hit send selected questionnaire. You'd hit yes. And then we wanted to show you what exactly your client would get. So this is the automated text that they would receive with this message. They would then click this link, and this is the type of screen that they would see. It would have their name since it's connected to your MyRepChat contact system. They would then be able to take this financial risks test where you would be able to understand questions like, what are your financial goals? Let's talk about your financial status. How much total the investment amount they're looking for. And then it would just toggle through a series of questions based on when they're trying to retire, and really just trying to gather that picture for you of the risk score. And this is all obviously questions that you would be asking a client. But what makes this integration really great is that these are pre-made questions. You're not having to manage the questionnaire. It's all done through Nitrogen. And then it's all connected within that contact card. So I'm just quickly running through to give you a snapshot, of course, not a full look into the type of questions that your client would receive. And then what you would see on the flip side after they've completed the assessment. So right now, here's all the questions. That was the standard one. There is a shorter and a more detailed version. It would calculate that risk score for them. They could say like, hey, that doesn't really feel right and adjust it, or say all done. Then that would automatically send that information to their contact card within MyRepChat. So let's look back at that. So that was blank before. Now that that client has taken the assessment, their score would be logged there, their goals, and the date of when they took that last took that questionnaire. So this is really helpful too if you do end up using this integration, being able to see the last time that this was completed. Because you can say, hey, it's been about a year since my client has done this assessment. Let me go ahead and send it to them again to make sure I have the most accurate picture of their risk score and their goals. So all of this would be stored under that contact card. Just one important note in order to tether this integration, you must have the email address for that client listed within the contact card in order to send or share that Riskalyze questionnaire. So, even if you're sending the questionnaire via text, you still need to have an email address on file in order to fire that off and trigger that. So just something to note, especially when you're syncing that content from the CRM, just make sure that their email is listed in order to be able to use that Riskalyze integration. So next, we are going to demo our FMG integration. So before you would actually be able to tie your FMG account, if you have one already, into MyRepChat, you would just need to be able to find your customer ID because that's what you'd need in order to tie the two accounts together, which we do have a whole step-by-step article, which we will share out. If you already have an FMG account, you're interested in connecting those two, which you'd find under your profile, then contact information, and then you'd be able to copy and paste the customer ID that you would need for MyRepChat directly from there. So before we do the demo, just wanted to show you how you would get that information. And again, all of this can be found from settings under integration. You'd hit that last item on integrations, which is FMG Suite. You'd paste in that customer ID that I just referenced, which you'd find under your contact information. You can hit save. You can also hit test to make sure the integration worked. Once the integration is live, you will now see an icon from that paperclip in the message that says content. This is your FMG content. So you can hand select content that you want to pull over into MyRepChat or put your entire FMG content library here available to use. You can search by a keyword. So let's say we're trying to find a new retirement piece that you just saw for FMG that you want to share with a client. You'd then hit that little eyeball icon to preview the content so you can do a quick scan through and read the content, make sure it's a good fit for what you want to send to your client. And then when you go back to MyRepChat, you'd then be able to send it from that little airplane or arrow icon. So I previewed the content, I like it, I want to send it. It would automatically package that up, say, please take a look at this document with the headline or name of the document, and then a link. So if you're curious, like, what is this going to look like for my client? On their side, this is what they would see. So they'd get that link. Please take a look at the document. They'd get a preview of the article. And then when they click out, what makes this really cool is that it's on a landing page. It's housed in this landing page that's obviously free for them to read, but it also includes things like your contact information, your website. Here on the right is a good example of that. So your contact information, your number, your website. You can link your LinkedIn. You can put a CTA button to drive to your website. It just houses this all on a custom landing page, no matter what type of content you're selecting. And it's everything from articles, videos, infographics. There's so much different kind of content that's available on FMG as it relates to sharing to a specific client. So we just wanted to highlight, here's some newer content that just came to the FMG library, just to give you the idea of here's the type of content that I would be able to sync and share. What's my 2025 tax bracket? That one's an infographic, a bunch of different articles like managing money as a couple, or estimating the cost of college, or a video like bridging the confidence gap, which is about, financial risks and things like that. So all of this great content is then synced and available for you to use when you connect your two accounts. And we talked a lot about the beauty of using a CRM, right? And being able to integrate those tags and create distribution lists. This is just another great way where, perhaps you have a tag or a group for growing families, and you know that they're curious about college savings programs and things like that. You could send that distribution list, that estimating the cost of college article, and it feels really tailored to their needs and wants. And FMG is constantly adding new content to their library. So, it's just a great way to keep new articles and things that are top of mind and share them with your clients. Um, with that said, we are giving away a free piece of content for you today that hopefully is super helpful. This is our CRM checklist and best practices. So this is a helpful cheat sheet that we put together on just maintaining data integrity across platforms, avoiding common integration pitfalls, some troubleshooting tips, and then really some cool best practices about daily operation tips, data management strategies, and then just efficiency hacks to best maximize your MyRepChat CRM workflow. So check that email after the webinar, which will have all these post-webinar resources for that free downloadable copy that you hopefully find super helpful in order to get yourself started and then keep using your CRM with MyRepChat. And again, if you are interested in learning anything more about FMG, we are part of the same family, so we do offer an exclusive discount on pricing and packages. You can go ahead and feel free to scan this QR code while it's up for a second, just right from your phone. But we will include a link out if anybody's interested in learning more about FMG products, programs, and tools to really make the most out of that integration. Awesome. So we have about 5 minutes left here. So as promised, we are going to do some live Q&A. So we've got a lot of really great questions asked already. So thank you so much for chiming in and asking as we are going through some of this stuff. Stacy, I'm going to pass it over to you. Do you want to maybe hand pick a couple to start with?
Yeah, so I've been trying to answer as many questions throughout the webinar today, but one of the questions that has been coming in quite often is the distribution list size. So in most cases, your distribution list size is 100. Depending on your broker dealer, it could be as low as 24, 23, 25, etc. If you need to know specifically, you can always reach out to our support team and they can give you your specific answer. Also note the distribution list size is dependent and the broker dealer. And when you send out a message to a distribution list, it is individual messages out and back. So we do not have group messaging. So for an example, if you're sending out that Riskalyze report questionnaire, it will go out. If you create a distribution list of husband and wife, it will go out individually to them. And then when they reply, it will go back individually to you. So distribution list you can create for husbands and wives, maybe a family, etc., and send that out. So that is distribution list. Also, some questions on the setup of Redtail or Salesforce, etc. So the integration is utilized the exact same way for all of our CRMs. So you can utilize MyRepChat with Redtail or etc. They are all exactly the same. different instructions on how to set up. So you want to make sure you click that question mark, etc. on the screen if you want a detailed report on that. Um, let me see. Also, MyRepChat doesn't automatically, as we showed you in the CRM webinar, we do not automatically update. So if you update somebody's number in Wealthbox, like we updated Jackie's name from Jackie to Jacqueline, we had to re-pull in that contact. So we don't automatically update that information. So if you do change a number, you want to make sure you re-pull in that content, etc., which is super easy. You can just be in messages, click on plus message, search for that contact, okay, type in Jackie, they'll come in and it'll automatically update that name. So super easy, then send the client the message. Let me see, what other main questions are we having? Also, any of you that are reporting like integration errors, please reach out to our support team at support@myrepchat.com.
I saw a question too, was this recorded, or I want to see that video again. This is recorded. So because you've registered and also attended this webinar, you will get the replay video. We'll also share the slides that we walked through. So, if you're just curious about one video or want to go back and see one thing, you'll be able to see that. So I see there was a couple questions about that. So I just wanted to make that clear that if you missed something or you want to see something again, we will absolutely share that with you, and you'll be able to do that.
And a couple questions on when you are integrated with, for an example, Wealthbox. When you see that Wealthbox logo next to the name, the messages and anything you text them will go into Redtail. So if you're texting them FMG content, that link will also go into Redtail. So you see what articles you sent them, etc.
Oh, and I see a question too. After you complete the integration process for FMG, how do you get to the content library? So that was from the paperclip icon. So if you're going to messages and you see the different icons, templates, bookmarks, schedule, there'll be a little book at the bottom that says content. You would click that from your message, and then you'd be able to search there for content from the FMG library, preview it, and then send it to that individual user when you're in the message. So that's how you access that larger content library to find, cherry pick, and be able to use it. Hope that's helpful. And it looks like we are just about time. I know that there was definitely some questions we maybe didn't get to, but as I mentioned, we're going to take this entire questions and answers and put them into one document in that replay email. So if your question wasn't answered and you're really curious, definitely check that out, because we're going to make sure it's a comprehensive resource. As well as if you had to jump off or you missed maybe the first couple of minutes, you'll get the replay video too. So don't worry about that. We really, really appreciate your participation today. There were so many good questions. We're going to keep doing this webinar series. So if you find this like bite-sized workshop really helpful to you, we're going to keep doing them. There's also going to be a survey at the end of this. Please give your feedback. And we also ask about any topics that you'd love to see in future workshops. So definitely pop your ideas in here. The last workshop we did, the Wealthbox CRM integration, was a huge item, and so we made sure to include that this time. So super helpful to hear directly from you what you're looking to see so that we can make this super beneficial. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.